Good evening and welcome to Colorado Mesa University News. I'm Carly Hanley.
And I'm Stephen Adams.
CMU helps educate students on suicide. September is National Suicide Awareness Month, and Colorado Mesa University is participating in the cause. CMU is helping spread awareness of suicide and celebrating life September 21st through the 26th. The university has teamed with the Western Colorado Suicide Prevention Foundation, the WCSPF, to help educate students on suicide and how to prevent it. Suicide is the 7th leading cause of death in Colorado for all ages, according to the Colorado Department of Public Health. Mesa County Health Department reported 213 Mesa County residents have committed suicide within the last 5 years.
WCSPF's goal is to educate the community on how to help someone considering suicide and ultimately reduce the number of suicide-related deaths. Executive Director of WCSPF, Martha Graff, has joined forces with Dr. Susan Becker, Professor of Psychology at CMU, to offer informative classes to CMU students. One of those classes is Brief Suicide Intervention Training. This one-hour course educates people on the warning signs of suicide and how to respond. An in-depth class, the Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training, or ASSIST, is an interactive 2-day workshop that comes with a certificate at the end of training. Graff says, if you suspect that someone is suicidal, you need to ask them the question. Talking about it often gives people relief and understanding. The warning signs for suicide vary from person to person. However, a change in eating or sleeping habits, self-medicating with drugs or alcohol, or acting angry and resentful may be considered behavioral signs of a person at risk.
Tough life situations, a change of job, moving or loss of financial independence, these can all be triggers in causing a person to consider suicide. These are only a few of the many signs and triggers surrounding suicide. Helping a suicidal person starts with listening. The next step is finding assistance, which may be calling a national hotline or calling a professional on campus in the mentoring office. Most of the staff and resident advisors have gone through brief training as well as may be used as resources for students on campus who need support.
At 5 p.m. this Wednesday, September 23rd, in Houston Hall Room 204, there'll be a suicide awareness talk. There will also be a free 1-hour brief suicide intervention training class for students to become educated on how to help someone who is considering taking their life. This class will be held at 5 p.m. in Houston Hall Room 204 on Thursday the 24th.
Dr. Becker may be contacted to set up a brief suicide prevention class for a student group at 970-248-1085 or sbecker@coloradomesa.edu. To participate in Assist WCSPF can be found at suicidepreventionfoundation.org, and scholarships are available for CMU students to take Assist courses. If someone is at risk for suicide, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-TALK, T-A-L-K. Student Services offers a wellness check for students, and the campus police also offer a wellness check for those living off campus. Knowing the signs of suicide can protect a life.
And now to Amber for our Mesa Arts Spotlight.
CMU students will have an opportunity to see fellow Mavericks shine in the upcoming production of the musical called Nine. The performance portrays the story of a celebrated film director and his attempts to write a plot for his next film, all while being pursued by hordes of beautiful women. Flashbacks reveal the substance of his life, which will become the material for his next film. Director Jeremy Franklin says this particular musical gives the women of our theater department a chance to showcase their talent, as the main cast consists of 19 females and only 1 man. In contrast, most musicals tend to be male-dominated, which provides a great opportunity not only for women majoring in theater, but also for acting, directing, and music majors. The show runs from September 24th to the 26th and September 30th to October 3rd. Tickets are $6 with your MAV card, but Mavericks can purchase tickets at the special price of $4 during the student rush shows on the 24th and 30th. You don't want to miss your opportunity to see this exciting show produced for the first time in the Grand Valley. Now to Foster's Corner with Carly Hanley and President Tim Foster.
Hello and welcome to Foster's Corner. I'm Carly Hanley and I'm here with President Tim Foster of Colorado Mesa University to talk about the Innovation Center on campus. Tim, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we're calling it the Maverick Innovation Center, short MIC. and so it's located over in Pinion Hall. Think about sort of cyber cafe, incubator, research place, and so what we did was we renovated the bottom floor of Pinion Hall and put in just over $1 million worth of renovations and just opened it up, painted the walls with that white paint so you can write on them, all sorts of technology. There's a 3D printer in there. And so it's a space that we're hoping that students from any number of disciplines, computer science jumps to mind, business, engineering. Of course, you say that, and when we talked with faculty at the various departments, first thing that came out of someone's mouth was in music, who said, "Oh, I have 3 students who are working on inventions in the music arena. Can they come over to the Maverick Innovation Center?" We said, of course. So it really is prone to students who think they want to invent something, want to go into business for themselves, have the new great idea. And so what you want is our students from different disciplines. So you have a student with an invention, you have a student from engineering who says, "Oh, I can figure out how to make that." You have a student from marketing that says, "Hey, let's do some test marketing." You have accounting students who say, "Let's help you set up your books and figure out how you're going to have to price it, what the cost is, what are your marketing costs, now then what marketing ideas do we have." All of that in one really dynamic space, and with a number of folks there to help those students along that path.
Cool. So going back to the 3D printer, is all of that technology completely free for students, or how does that work?
It is. All you have to do is sign up and decide that you want to be part of the Innovation Center, and so you can go in and use all the computers, all the design software, the 3D printer, the meeting rooms, all those sorts of things, and just go in there and get into that dynamic kind of thinking, inventing sort of spirit. The nice part is this week we have Tom Osborne, who is one of our alums. Tom worked for Procter & Gamble in their research department. Tom has over 400 patents to his name. His inventions have earned Procter & Gamble over $8 billion, and so he's retired. He was on campus here about a year ago, and we were talking about this concept, and Tom said, it is so lively and energetic and uplifting to be on campus. And so we pitched him on the idea, why don't you come spend a week a month in the Innovation Center, and you can sit there and just sort of interact with students and help them figure out okay, I have an idea. Now, how do I take that, along those steps to make it a reality? And what do I have to fuss with? And how much do I listen to the marketing students before my idea is meaningless, or the cost items, or those sorts of things? And so Tom is a very innovative guy, and I think he's going to be a great asset in that space.
So when Tom Osborne isn't there those other weeks of the month, is there someone that's helping them, or do they have to figure out how to use a 3D printer on their own, or how does that work?
We're just going to let them go in there and turn it
Just
upside down.
unleash.
Exactly. No, we have a fellow named Tom Benton who retired from the banking business, who will be there all the time. And then we have other, what I'm calling inventors in residence, and so we have other entrepreneurs who are going to come in and just hang out. Obviously, one of the things I think is true is you can't say, okay, everybody come at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll be here from 3 to 5. And so these folks who are quasi-retired, retired, or some still working, know that if they come, they're going to have to come and just hang out and wait for that moment and work with students and continue to engage with them. And so we'll have different folks in there. Tom Benton will be there all the time, but then we'll have other folks there as well. And we have a number of classes. I think you've seen flyers around campus. There's a 1-credit class and a 3-credit class to sort of introduce people to the concept of, okay, here's how an innovation center works. Here's a class on, you want to be an inventor, you want to be an entrepreneur, and that helps them do that.
Are there specific hours that it's open, or is it?
It is open. Once you register, you slide your card and you go in there anytime you want.
Cool. So it's basically like it can be a study hall essentially as well.
It's really not a study hall. It's there to be an innovation
be
center. So what you don't want is to have students start using it as a study hall, and then its purpose gets lost. So I think they're going to try and monitor that a little bit and say, if you're in here, we need to be in here doing project kind of based work or courses that relate to the Innovation Center.
Perfect. Yeah, and then is there anything else you want to tell us about that?
No, I think you need to get down there and get signed up and see what you can create.
Yeah, as a I'm a double major in computer science and mass communications, so that is very intriguing to me
Well, and I think the computer scientists think they've got a couple of students who want to do apps or things like that they've worked on, and that's a classic where you take an app and then you could go do a market study and say, okay, we're interested in that app, but I really wanted to do this in addition to what you're thinking about, or it needs to appear like in this form, and those sorts of things. So it's going to be a really fun, dynamic spot for those students who think they want to go make $1 million, be their own bosses, and do their own thing.
Perfect. And so for the rest of the year, we will be, or the rest of the semester to start with, we'll be meeting here every other week with President Tim Foster for Foster's Corner to talk about whatever's going on, whatever events are going on for that week and such. Is there any other resources that you can give students if they want to come introduce themselves? Or?
Well, I have an open office hour every Monday at 2 o'clock, and so they're welcome to come by my office and come chat with me if they just want to say hello, or if they want to come, they've got a problem, they need some help with something. It's always a good place because I can get them to where or whomever can help them get their issue resolved.
And that's on the 3rd floor of Lil Heine Hall, correct?
I'm the only person on the 3rd floor.
The only office.
Yes, exactly. Hard not to find me.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Foster, and we will see you all here again 2 weeks from today. Thank you.